I'm here on the set of News.exe, Burk's technology-centric news show, and I'm here with Ben Lawson, cybersecurity expert and general manager here at Burk IT, and also my father. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about what you do here at Burk IT?
Sure. Well, Michael, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here on the new set of News.exe. I'm very excited for this venture for Burk IT and all the work that you and Noah are doing in this realm. My day-to-day role with Burk IT is to oversee overall operations. I am our general manager, so I oversee our engineering efforts as well as our sales and marketing efforts and general day-to-day operations here at the practice. But I also have an extensive background in IT security. That's been my focus for the last 10 or 15 years. So I engage with many of our clients in terms of cybersecurity controls, in terms of compliance, and basically all the things it takes to keep our clients safe in a fairly aggressive cybersecurity world.
Speaking of that fairly aggressive cybersecurity world, breaches are on the rise right now, and businesses like banks and medical practices are especially concerned. What do you believe is necessary for the protection of these companies' data?
Really, when it comes to IT security and the threats that we face today, the thing that I encourage all organizations to consider is a layered approach to security. You can't trust one tool, one process, one piece of hardware, even one employee to be able to defend your organization successfully. You have to have a layered approach that involves controls, outside of your firewall, things in the cloud, things between you and the internet, to the edge devices you have, like your firewalls, your intrusion detection and prevention software, application controls, and so forth, DNS content filtering, other things you need between you and the internet. But then once you get inside your organization, the most important thing you can do is have very good endpoint controls in place, train your associates well, make sure your employees are aware of the threats that they're dealing with, make sure that you have sound policies and procedures in place to make sure you're hardening, make sure you're not leaving doors open, make sure you're not leaving footholds for cyber criminals to take advantage of.
I know here at Burk, one of the main pieces of software that we use to keep our business safe is SentinelOne.
Mm-hmm.
Why them as opposed to some of their competitors in this field?
SentinelOne's an excellent product. SentinelOne is referred to as an advanced malware protection platform. It's an agent that we install on all the endpoints that we protect, both here at our organization and for all of our clients that are in one of our managed services packages. It's considered a managed endpoint detection and prevention application. So it goes beyond that traditional, I'm going to look at a list of potential known bad files and alert you if something pops up. And it moves into that realm of artificial intelligence because it can monitor and track the behavior of the operating system on the computer or server involved. It can monitor network traffic in and out of that device. It can look at user behavior as the user interacts with that device using different applications, and it can look at application behavior and understand, should this application behave this way? Is this unusual or out of the norm for this device? It uses all of that data then to alert, and we take that one step further. The most important component here is not only is SentinelOne as an agent, as an application making those decisions, it's sending that information to a security operations center where there are live humans, security analysts looking at that information, making decisions based on that information, and then protecting those endpoints either through quarantine or other isolation techniques and remediation techniques to remove any malicious software or any malicious activity on that device.
Okay. Follow-up to that, is SentinelOne or any other software or combination of software able to perfectly secure an IT environment?
Absolutely not. And most of my clients don't like to hear this. Most of my management here at the organization doesn't like me to have to say this, though we all understand the nature of the threats. We'd love to be able to tell our clients you're 100% secure. There's no risk of compromise. There's no risk of breach. There's no risk the bad guys can get to you. But that's simply not true. There's always going to be. We talk about a matter of when you get breached, not if you get breached, or if you get when you get compromised, not if you get compromised, because the threats are ever evolving. That's why we have to use technology like SentinelOne that can be adaptive, that can adjust quickly, that can address things like advanced persistent threats and zero-day attacks, the types of attacks that exist in the wild where we don't know about the problem, where there is not an existing patch or an existing fix for that vulnerability, and where we have to rely on a well-monitored, well-engineered, intelligent endpoint solution to make decisions on that traffic. At the end of the day, our goal is not to prevent everything. We know we can. Our goal is to prevent as much as possible and then to mitigate the risk of anything else that gets through. We want to shrink the scope of any potential breach or any potential compromise, make the impact as small as possible, and make it as easy as possible to recover from that compromise or that breach after it's discovered.
Let's say that somebody watching this right now has reason to believe that they've been breached or is worried that they might have been breached. What do you think is the first thing that they should do in that scenario?
The very first thing anyone should do if they believe a device has been compromised is don't power it off, leave it as it is, but disconnect it from the network. If it is a wired device, if it connects directly to the network via a Cat5 or a Cat6 patch cable, unplug that patch cable from the back of the computer, the back of the PC or the server in question. If it's a wireless device, disable the wireless card as quickly as possible. Then look at your incident response plan. Who do you need to notify? Who do you need to notify within your organization? Do you have third parties that support you in your organization? Let them know what you found. Let them know what you believe is going on. Then you start working your incident response plan. You start trying to identify exactly what the risk is. Then you contain that risk. Then you work at eradication and lessons learned and what else is going on. But you really have to work a process that's effective for your organization and tailored for your environment.
Last thing I'll ask you here, is there anything else that you'd like to tell the audience while you have a platform?
Well, the most important thing that I would share with everyone is there are a variety of risks out there. I don't want everyone to live in fear. We've got good tools, we've got good controls, we've got good processes in the IT security industry today. The challenge is we have to use them effectively, and most importantly, we have to use them consistently. One of my favorite quotes out there is the bad guys only have to get lucky once when they're trying to compromise your network. We have to be lucky all the time. So it's very important that you understand your assets, you understand how many devices you have, you make sure all your controls are in place consistently across all of those devices. You do everything you can to build as many layers as possible between you and the threat. And then when something bad happens, hopefully the impact is very small and you can recover very quickly. Finally, I would say don't forget your backups. The most important thing every organization can have is a good backup solution that makes sure if something bad happens, you can recover very quickly if you have to rebuild that system.
All right. Well, thank you, Dad, for taking the time to talk with me here, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, press like, and if you want to see more, subscribe to our channel.